Your move, your move.
What's up guys, it's Recollect here and welcome to another amazing video on the channel. For today I got you another amazing video, but today it's going to be a slightly different video as it's going to be a tournament analysis video. So a couple of days ago I just participated in a huge tournament in order to win a SP Little Knight. As you know, that card is very expensive right now and very meta relevant. So the tournament was held at Chester at an amazing store called Recollect, so shout out to you guys, and if anyone is in that area I recommend you check out that store because they are very friendly and they made me feel straight at home and they have great players there, and it was an all-around amazing first impression that I got from them. So with all that being said, how did I do? Well, I got third place, so I made top 4. Sadly didn't get first place, which would have been an SP Little Knight. Branded took the event, so congratulations to that guy, and I hope you're watching the video. And then I believe second place was Vanquish Soul, piloted by Nathan, who was my only loss all day. And then third was me on Sinful Rescue Ace, and fourth was a voiceless voice player. So that was the top 4 breakdown, and I'll go over my games now. So for my round 1 opponent, he was an absolute legend. He actually recognized me from YouTube, so shout out to you, you made my day. He was playing a sort of pile deck in Chimera branded Horus. I opened 2 amazing hands. I believe my first hand in game 1 was Droll Imperm Ash, and then I top decked Rota and Rescue Ace, which is full combo on its own, and I also had access to the Avelstar engine. So the hand was absolutely insane, and it was a quick 2-0 unfortunately, but he was an amazing guy, and I hope you're watching this video, so shout out to you, you made my day. So for round 2, I had Sprite, and Sprite was piloted by a person you see on the channel quite a lot, so by Mark. Shout out to Mark if you're watching this video, which you probably are. Unfortunate that you got me round 2. I would have liked to see you later on into the tournament, but that's okay. And Rescue Ace took the win at 2-0. Mark was still quite new to Sprite, so I think that was to my advantage. And from what I could tell, he opened like 1 hand trap, which against Rescue Ace isn't really enough at all if I open a good hand, which I did. So unfortunate for Mark, but we took that 2-0, and then it was straight to round 3. For round 3, it was against a Vanquish Soul player by the name of Nathan. So shout out to Nathan if you're watching this video, and it was a good game. It was one of my first times playing against Vanquish Soul, so I wasn't exactly sure what to hit. I know Raisin is the key card, so try and stop that if you can. We went to game 3. I took game 1 after losing the dice roll, which was quite good. I opened a lot of gas, so that's why. Game 2, I got floodgated out of the game, so he went combo and then summon limited me, so that was all she wrote there. And then game 3, it still pains me to say, it was a complete brick on my end. I opened double turb, fire, engine, droll, and Fenrir, and 1 Fenrir against Vanquish Soul just didn't cut it, and I lost the game there. He did, I think it was what, 5-5 or 5k through attacking, and then burnt me for the 3k with the heavy Borger, so that was a quick game. And unfortunate because I feel like, you know, if I opened a good hand, it could have been a really good game there post-siding, but it's how it is sometimes, especially with Rescue Ace. And that, I guess, was the inspiration to sort of the amendments I've made to the deck for this deck profile. So hopefully the consistency has gone up and the chances of bricking have gone down a lot. And for round 4, there was only 4 rounds because by round 4 we had a clear winner, and that's how we were playing that day. So round 4 I had Paleozoics. Unknown to me at the time was that Joshua Schmidt did a video on Paleozoics, so this was the Joshua Schmidt Paleo list with a few changes of it on. I'm going to give him some credit there. There was some cool additions. He added like the Black Goat Laughs and that type of thing. So that's what I had to play against. I was okay on my knowledge on Paleozoics. I know that you have to kind of chain block them, but apart from that, I was a bit rusty with the interactions, and I didn't know that trap tricks still let you use trap effects, just that you couldn't activate traps, but that's okay. We still took that game 2-0, and I feel like that was more because you had to constantly be paying life points, and I could just, you know, 1 hit is all it took. But that was the end of the event, and I was relatively happy with how the deck did. It was only 4 rounds though, and then for one of the games it was a complete brick. But for the other hands, they were very playable, and I did win the games all 2-0. Like, I didn't drop a game because I didn't brick, so I feel like that's sort of how it goes with Rescue Ace. And now I'm going to be showing you the new and improved deck profile you may want to see the deck I actually took to the event. That is on a previous Rescue Ace build. So the last Rescue Ace build I showed was that exact build. This is now an adaptation of that I've learned from taking it, you know, sort of the experience of that event and applying it to this deck profile today. So I hope you guys do enjoy that. And I'm sorry for such a long monologue. I will let you get now to the deck profile. Subscribe if you're new. Shout out to all the Chester boys. You guys were really, really friendly, and you all made my day. So starting off with the main deck, 40 cards. Feels great to be saying that finally. Been playing Rescue Ace at 41 for months, and now I think it's time that we see the extra consistency. So let's start off the deck profile. I think this is still standard. We have double Rescue Ace Hydrant. If you guys don't know what he does, he is pretty important as he's a level 1 fire, which is a rotor, and also gives us the ability to activate a Rescue Ace spell or trap that's been set that turn via a Rescue Ace effect. He also has a decent amount of protection himself, that he can't be targeted or targeted for attacks when there's another Rescue Ace on board, so that's pretty nice. The win con of the deck, Rescue Ace Turb. Every time we resolve Turb, or every time I've resolved Turb, I've won the game, unless I've been evenly matched or lightning stormed. If they don't open those, which even if they do, I play the Jet Synchron variant, so they have to get through my Omni Negates, you win the game. The set 4 is too good, it provides too much advantage. If the set 4 resolves, it's incredible. You know, you have to make sure it resolves. Summon Turb with an SP already, you activate the effect. If they do anything, you chain SP, or if they impo and summon, you use the Turb and SP into a princess, bring Turb back. You just have to make sure Turb resolves, because he is the heart and soul of the deck, and you live and die by the set 4. He also has a secret effect, where if a card leaves the field by an opponent's card, while he's on the field, you get to destroy one card on the field, so that's pretty nice as well. We have double of the Rescue Ace Preventer. This is, again, really, really good piece of support. An extender, an interruption, fantastic. Banish one Rescue Ace card from the grave, he specials himself. You can either use the Book of Moon, defensively or offensively. Then when he's gone to the grave, he'll special back one of your Rescue Ace monsters. He's just a fantastic card. And rounding off the Rescue Ace monsters, we just play the one Airlifter. I no longer play the Engine or the Impulse, because I value the consistency of playing 40 cards, and I felt like every time I opened Impulse or Engine in my hand, even going first, they didn't help the combo that I was already doing, and they just kind of felt like dead cards. It really hurts to say that, because I really love Rescue Ace Impulse. I think he's a great card. I just think he's not great right now. And also going second, you might be saying, you know, going second, he's great. Is he? Is he really? I mean, you're putting a fire in grave for them to make heater in a fire-dominated format, and then they heater, they get an extender, and then you just help them in a way. You know, you get fire engine, but half the time fire engine gets interrupted anyway, and then they just heater, and they take your impulse, and it's just not great. So I've dropped them for now. This is how I've gotten to 40 cards, and I've just focused on consistency. I feel like the games I lose, it is because I brick, not because of anything else really, to be honest. So I'm valuing the consistency. And I feel like in the games I win, Impulse and Engine aren't really the deciding factors anyway. For the spells, Triple Emerge, great card, fantastic. If this goes to 1, I truly believe the deck is stuffed, because the consistency would just go down so hard. But Triple Emergency is great, specials 1 from the deck, and then tributes 1 on Resolution, which helps if they want to like Imperm, Veiler, your Turbulence or Hydrants, you can dodge it, which is great. And then it can banish it from the grave to reset a trap, so it provides you some grind game as well. We have the 1 Rescue and the 1 Alerts. We play 1 of each because we're going to set these with Turb. These are not bad to open. They are fine. You can open 1 of these in your hand and you can actually like benefit from it. It's really good. Alert is a rotor if you have Hydrant, if not to pick up from grave, and Rescues a reborn from your grave or your opponents if you control Hydrant. So those are good cards. The problem is when you open these. These are not so great in your hand. And yes, there's workarounds. You can Witch, pitch it to the grave, and then later banish an emergency that you use to reset it. There's workarounds. But when you open this and no way of getting it to the grave, it's just so bad. And there's been times where I've drawn both and I'm just like, well, I lose the game now because these don't do anything quick enough, and it's just absolutely pain. So, yeah, you need to play them though, because when you set them, this is the pop, this is the negate. They do enough to guarantee that the set 4 has so much impact, so you need to play them. Just please never play them on more than one, because it's pure pain. And that is it for the Rescue Ace stuff. I've managed to trim it down to really, really small. It's not big at all. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monsters, guys. 2 traps and like 6 spells. So 5 spells. That's kind of crazy. For the other engine, of course, it's the expensive part. You have the Double Witch with the Jet Synchron. And let's just show them now. You know they're coming. So we have the triple Wanted as well, and the 1/1 spell. This is sad because this makes the deck not budget. Would I play pure Rescue Ace? Potentially not. This provides so much, guys. So much for the deck. The Abelstar is a body which gets you your Hydrant in times that you brick. And if you don't need Hydrant, you get Jet Synchron and you establish 2 Omni Negates. So like that's absolutely crazy. One just gets you Witch and gets you draws, and it's just, the engine is so good. It hurts. It's so good. It's an incredible engine, and these are the ratios I would play. I would not change a thing about this. People say, oh, just don't play Jet Synchron. Yeah, I enjoy losing to Evening and Lightning Storm then, because there's no way of negating those if you don't play the Jet Synchron. So that is why I play Jet Synchron. So that is it for that part of the engine. I guess you can say this is another engine, but not really. I feel like he's just a staple slapped everywhere. We have Fenriana, or Kashtira Fenrir, shout out to Mark. Boss monster on its own, grabs you card advantage, open Fenrir and the Witch, Fenrir add Fenrir, and then Witch pitch the extra Fenrir in your hand, so you didn't go negative anything. You didn't go minus anything for Witch, which is insane. It's also level 7, which with our Ash goes into Barone, in case that ever comes up. Or you can go Fenrir and Jet Synchron into Savage Dragon, which we play. You're never going to really want to do that, because it's a boss monster on its own. Just a banish every single turn is cracked, to be honest. It's so good. And I play 3 because I always want to see this card. It's so good. For the hand traps, we play quite a few. We have Triple Ash. It's good. It's a fire, which sucks because they're going to heater it loads of times and they're going to extend, but being fire means you can also loop it back to your hand as well. It's good. It's good enough to play. It's amazing into Branded Fusion. It's good-ish against Snake Eyes. You really need to open more than 1 hand trap in that case, or if they open a subpar hand, that 1 Ash does it, but yeah, Ash has always been good. I'm just telling you to just be careful, because they will heater take it and you will be upset. We have Triple Roll. This card is amazing. I really like the card. People are sort of going off Droll a little bit. I think he's still very serviceable, very good. I mean, if I wasn't playing Droll, what else would I play? Maybe main deck the Rock, but the Rock is in my side. So yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult. I think he does the job very well. Very well. I played 2 Effect Veilers. These are the new additions. I cut the Impulse and Engine for Veilers, because if I'm going to brick, I'm going to brick with hand traps. That's my theory of that. And if not, Impulse and Engine never really helped me too much anyway. It was nice sometimes, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it was just a bit win more. So I just took them out and put 2 Veilers in. And I'm in theory, I don't need Impulse or Engine going second, because I've hand trapped them more and they've built a subpar board that I can break with the rest. And then triple Imperm. So 11 hand traps. Bit of an odd number, I know. I don't want to go to 41 to play 12 hand traps, and I think everything else I'm pretty happy with at the moment. So, I mean, you could cut a Fenrir if you want to play another hand trap, maybe a 3rd Veiler, but I think, the Fenrir at 3, I'm having a lot of success with that at the moment. For the normal power spells, Triple Prosp, we've gone back up, boys. I was playing 3, then I went to 2, now I'm back at 3. I don't want to brick. The amount of times I brick is painful. Every big event, I'm bricking like twice. And I'm not just saying bricking like the board's bad. I'm just saying like hard bricks, like double turb, Engine, Fenrir Droll, like that type of hand going first. And you can say it's my fault for not siding properly and all that, but there's only so much you can do when you play so many high level monsters. And I just want Prosp. Okay, I cut Call By for the third Prosp. I feel like Rescue Ace, Sinful Rescue Ace, when you open a good hand, you can play around 1 to 2 hand traps anyway, so the Call By wasn't doing too much. So that is the reasoning behind Prosp. We have 1 Rota for consistency. Sucks if you open Airlift on Rota, but it's okay. And we have the 1 Triple Tactics Talent. So no Rescue Ace Field Spell either, which I think is important to mention. Why? Because I feel like the games were decided way before I got to the Field Spell anyway. If I got to the Field Spell, it meant I opened kind of bad, and I'm like in a grindy state, and yes, in that situation it helps, but in theory, the extra consistency should make it where I don't really, hopefully, need the Field Spell, because I can close out the game going first or second with better hands. And I may regret that. I may add the Field Spell into the sign, because right now it's not even there at the moment. We'll have to see. But Tactics is a treat. It's fantastic. Could play more, but for now, 1 is perfectly fine. I see it often enough that I recognize that it's in my deck and it does amazing. I just don't want to be drawing multiple Tactics where my opponent doesn't activate anything in main phase. So yeah, that is it. 40 cards. Feels really nice to say that now. And I'm hoping that the consistency is improved. I mean, my old deck profiles, you can see that my old deck profile is the version I did take to Chester. I think you probably heard from the intro already. But I feel like based on that, I got 3rd, which is good. But the only game I lost, which is in game 3, was because I bricked. I feel like now this version is going to hopefully be more consistent. And if that means sacrificing my grind game and sacrificing an Impulse and a Fire Engine, I'm willing to find out. So this is the build I'm going to be using for now, and I'll update you guys in a couple of weeks. Let's now go on to the extra deck. Moving on to the extra deck. This has been pretty solved for me, apart from 1 card, which I'll mention. But let's get on to the Link 4s. We have the Access Code Talker. This card, I feel like I didn't have it in originally, like when I first started playing Rescue Ace. And now I don't know how I managed to do that. This card's essential. Selene Access Code is amazing, because you have Veilers and you have the Black Witch to Reborn now off the Selene as well. So really, really nice. We have 1 Appaloosa. Yes, it's a beautiful Starlight Rare. I feel like that's probably swayed my judgment into why I want to play it. This is the card I'm not sure about. I feel like this could be maybe something else. Maybe this could be a Nightmare Unicorn. I feel like Nightmare Unicorn would get more use than Appo. In that tournament that I went to in Chester, I made Appo a whopping 0 times, guys. And maybe I should have. Maybe there's times where I could have. But the games I won, like, I didn't need Appo, clearly. And then the one I lost is because I bricked. So I didn't even get the chance to make Appo, and it was against Vanquish Soul. So maybe this should just be a Unicorn. I feel like Unicorn would get more utility, but I'm going to leave Appo in for now and see how it goes. We have the Amphibious Swarm Ship Whale. Standard stuff, because we play the Promethean Princess, and this is probably the best Link 4 target to do so. We have the Princess, of course. Card's amazing. Don't make it as much as I thought, but again, it's really good when they imperm your Turbulence on summon, because then you go Turb SP into Promethean Princess Reborn Turb, and like they have to have another imperm again. So really, really nice. And then obviously you just get it into the graveyard and it can pop cards every turn, providing, you know, you can fuel your pops from your side of the field and your opponent's special summoning. But really, really good. And for the last Link 3, Selene, I think this card is mandatory now. I mentioned it before with Access Code. This card's just so, so good. It helps you clear so many games. Link 2s, we have Sunlight Wolf. Don't really make him too much. When I do, it's to loop Ash Blossom in matchups against Labyrinth or Branded, where it's really, really impactful. But he gets the job done. He's in the extra deck for now, and I think he's going to stay. We have the package. Obviously, we have the SP Little Knight. Amazing card. I'm sorry for the budget players. I hope it gets reprinted soon. And there isn't really much of an alternative in this deck, because SP provides hand trap protection for the Turbulence. If you go Turb effect and they go Veiler or Imperm and you chain SP, you remove the Turb from the field and the effect will still resolve. So SP plays a crucial role, mostly for that, to be honest with you. And obviously it's good against your opponent's turn. And the IP we can make SP during our opponent's turn for the extra interruption as well. For the Charmers, Dark Charmer, fantastic, amazing card. Heater, fantastic, amazing card, especially in this format.
just take a fire. The beautiful thing about Hydrant is that it can make either, because it's a fire for heater, or you turn Hydrant into a Linkuriboh, and that Linkuriboh is dark. So Hydrant serves as both fire and dark, which I absolutely love, that dual utility. We have one Nightmare Phoenix. When it comes up, it's really clutch, usually to deal with annoying floodgates. Yeah, especially that you can make it under Princess as well, and you get a draw, because the arrows always match with Princess, is phenomenal. We have the Linkuriboh. Card's insane. People are saying this card's going to get banned. I cannot in good conscience ban a Kuriboh card. So Konami, don't ban the Kuriboh. Just ban the cards that make Kuriboh really good. And that is the Snake Eyes Ash. Not ban it, just limit it. Kuriboh helps with targeting, dodge targeting, because if they Imperm or Veiler a Hydrant, and you have an Linkuriboh in the grave, you just tag out. So really, really cool. We have the Barone. This is how we answer Evenly Match in game 2 and 3. Needed, because Evenly Match blows you out the water, and so does Lightning Storm. And we have the Savage again, both. So we have 2 points. We play with our back row in games 2 and 3 to avoid the tactics. And if they go battle phase, we have that. If they, commit to the board, we know they haven't got Evenly or Lightning Storm, so we can use them. But that's how I like to play them, to hopefully not lose to those cards, or Harpy's Feather Duster as well. And then we have the Typhon Sky Crisis. So, good card, good card. He comes up sometimes. When he does, he's great. So, that is it for the extra deck. Let's now move on to the side deck. Moving on to the side deck, let's start off with our win condition in time. We have our beautiful Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Shout out to Dewi, who sold me his copy a few years ago. He's still doing a good job. You side this in games 2 and 3 when you know you're going to go to time, and you can hopefully either get a draw or win, and he just does burn, and you can make him with the Sinful package. So you need to see the Sinful package, which is kind of annoying to see a win in time, but that's just how it is. I don't think if there's another way to win in time that doesn't require the Wanted package, let me know, please. And that's an extra deck monster, and I'll look at it. Maybe I overlooked something, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. For the hand traps, again, going second, we're going to be siding out probably 2 Prosps, because we don't want to see Prosp, we want to see hand traps, so 2 Nibs can come in and maybe side something else out, and then Nibs go in, or maybe we take out Drolls if it's not good in the matchup. Against Salad, it's like okay, but apart from that, maybe Nib is obviously more impactful against Salad. But Nibiru gets the job done. I like it in the side. Problem is I always draw it as a 6th card, which is infuriating, but that's not necessarily the card's fault. It's sort of just how it is. Let's go to the spells. We have triple Cosmic Cyclone. Fantastic removal. Best removal at the moment for back row, because it banishes, gets through the protection of Sanctuary, can deal with pesky floodgates like Summon Limit, which is how I lost game 2 against Nathan. Shout out to Nathan again. Probably shouted you out in the intro, but I'm shouting you out again. I lost it to Summon Limits, which is annoying, but you got to do what you got to do to win games. And yeah, out Summon Limit, which I think is the floodgate of the format at the moment, and hopefully we'll go 2-1. Triple Tactics Thrusts. Absolutely fallen in love with this card the past couple weeks. I see the value in it now. You can search Rota, you can search Tactics, you can search Harpies, for example, which we also have in the side. I pulled a beautiful Ultimate Rare, so that's amazing. But yeah, Thrust, I see the value. It's so good. And even if it's just setting, you can set a spicy card that I'll show you in a little bit. And that spicy card sometimes just wins you the game alone. We have one Evenly Matched again, another Tactics for Thrust. We play like 4 or 5 really good targets for Thrust, which is really, really good. And Evenly, again, is amazing in going second. We play the 1 different dimension ground. This is what we set with Thrust going first. If they hand trap us, we set this. And if we go full combo and then we set this, we have to kind of play smart. So we go draw phase emergency to then get the Prevent in the grave to do things. And then we can flip this, because then we don't need to use the graveyard for any other monsters. So that is what we do in that case. So we just activate 1 card before we activate the ground. And yeah, amazing card. And then for the last 3, these were Solemn Strikes. But then I realized just floodgating your opponent is better than negating their summons. So I'm sorry that Summon Limit is in the deck. I really have hated this card the past few weeks. It's been all over events and it's been annoying me. But it has to be done. And if you can't beat them, I'm going to join them. And his Summon Limit, You can play Solemn Strikes. I was testing that. It was good. Don't get me wrong, Solemn Strike was great when you hit the Snake Eyes Ash because you negated and removed the body, which was really, really clutch. Obviously, it's really good into Link summons, Synchro summons, and all that. But you know what Summon Limit does? It does all of that and more because it just says no after your opponent has summoned twice. And yeah, against Rescue Ace was literally like not summoning much during our opponent's turn. And you know, if we have the Summon Limit, we can change the way. That way we always have the Princess live, so we would probably hold the emergency. And just that way we can keep the Princess live. But even then, in your opponent's turn, we're not really summoning too much in most hands. Maybe like 3 times max, so we lose 1. But then our opponent has to play under the Floodgate too. So that is the end of the deck profile. Please do let me know, all you Rescue Ace players that are still there. There must be a few of you. You can't all be playing Fire King Snake Eyes. Some of you must be like me on the grind with Rescue Ace. Let me know what you think of this deck profile. Let me know particularly about the Field spell. That's the only card like I'm a bit oof about cutting. So let me know about that, and let me know if you have a consistent version of this deck. I'm hoping this now has fixed the consistency issues. And again, shoutouts to the locals at Chester. I would have mentioned them in the intro anyway, their names and everyone I played, but you guys were great. You guys were very welcoming, and I hope to be going there very, very soon again. So I'm Rogue to here, and I'll see you all in the next video.